And we're back here at the D3Hoops.com Classic as we're talking to all 20 teams that made the trip to Las Vegas here this week for this event. And we're talking with Jeff Hans, the head coach of the Thomas More women's basketball team, whose team lost to Wisconsin River Falls on I don't even remember the day. Is that Wednesday? And then play
Wednesday.
Wednesday, and they play Simpson on Friday. First of all, welcome to D3Hoops.com Classic, and for that matter, welcome to Division III.
Thank you. It's very good to be here.
You were an assistant coach at Northern Kentucky. I know you have a Division III men's basketball playing background, but how different is the talent level at a Division II school like Northern Kentucky compared to what you've seen so far in D3?
A lot different. They're a little bit better athletes, a little bit better shooters. I mean, that's why they're on scholarship.
Sure.
You know, and here it's for the love of the game, the want to of playing and the desire to play. And, you know, and that's why I think we've been very successful. Coach Neal built a great program at Thomas More, and hopefully we can continue that.
How much difference is there, say, in terms of time commitment? How much can you expect of a player at Division III compared to D2 or scholarship level?
About the same.
Yeah, that was my impression.
I mean, I think if you're going to be a good program, you're going to do the same amount of work as a Division I, if not more. And unfortunately, we can't pay their money with the athletic scholarships like the D1s, D2s can. But you know, if you're going to be good, you have to put in the time.
And at what point during the off season did you take over at Thomas More?
First week of June.
Okay, so you've gotten a chance to know the kids. You had a lot of. I mean, obviously, you don't really get a chance to work with them during the off season, but it's not like you're coming in blind and cold.
Right. Yeah.
So, what have you gotten to know from your team so far here?
Well, we'll find out tomorrow how we respond to adversity.
Yeah.
How we react to losing, because it hasn't happened a lot for our program over the last few years, and we responded pretty well to our first loss to Capital by bouncing back and beating Shawnee State by 2, who's an NAIA program that was ranked 4th in the country at that time. So that was a very good win for us. But getting ready to play Simpson, who's very impressive, especially today. But watching them on film, they've been very impressive also. So we'll see how we can react to that.
And you know, when you get in, you take over a job like that. You sit down and watch tape of your team, and then you sit down and watch tape of the other teams in your conference during the summer.
The first thing I did was watch tapes of some of the teams we're getting ready to play again, but then also a lot of our conference, a lot of our top tier conference. But really all of them throughout the preseason, trying to get to know them a little bit, and so it's not totally blind going into a scouting report about 3 days out.
Yep. I wanted to get your take on Wisconsin River Falls. You guys played them yesterday, and then I know you got to see at least some of that game here today. What do you think of River Falls in those 2 days?
Oh, they're very good. Yeah. They're very impressive. They can beat you in a lot of different ways. Tiffany Grigorich, I think is how you say her last name. She's a very smart point guard. She runs the show for them. You know, and I thought we did a pretty good job of taking her out of the game a little bit. I mean, I think we held her to 10 or 12 points, but then our post players just killed us. Yeah. So, you know, they're tough to defend, and they're not very deep, but they play hard, and they play both ends of the floor.
And you guys have a pretty young team here. You have no seniors on the roster. Right. So who do you look for to leadership in situations, like especially at a tight, close, late game?
Look, Allison Long. Katie Kitchen. Katie Kitchen's a redshirt sophomore because of a knee injury, so she's been around for a couple of years. Okay. And then Allison Long with a lot of minutes that she's played since she's been a freshman. But, you know, that's one area that we're lacking a little bit of is some leadership aspects. And so we're just trying to work on that to get that better.
Yeah, and you mentioned Kitchen and Long. Those are your 2 leading scorers in double figures. What is it about, those players that sets them apart?
Their competitiveness. They don't like to lose. Yeah. They don't like to lose in drills and practice, and they sure as heck don't like to lose games. I mean, it's hard to get them off the floor in practice. They don't want to come out, so they're on the floor constantly, and they want to keep playing. They want to work to get better.
And I know obviously you maybe can't answer this question completely, but how much and what do you think has changed in the program under you as opposed to Brian Neal?
I don't know yet. I think we're still learning.
Yeah.
We're a lot different team than what's been here. We don't have that anchor in the post and Nicole Dickman that's been around for 4 years. Right. Yeah. You know, that's a big loss. And then Chelsea Tolliver had a medical situation this summer that's not allowed her to play. And hopefully she'll be able to come back next year and play her last 2 years. So, you know, those 3 seniors we lost last year, and then Chelsea, that's 51% of our scoring. So we're trying to find ourselves in different roles, whether it's offense, defense, more minutes. a lot of different aspects of how to play hard all the time, having to play for 40.
The game that River Falls played on Thursday. This is 20 games that's beginning to run together. I think this is Thursday. River Falls against Carthage. A bunch of us who've seen games at the Division III Women's Final Four commented that game was stylistically the same kind of game that you need to be able to play in order to compete at the highest levels of Division III. What do you think Thomas More has to do to be able to get to that level?
We have to continue to be more consistent. We have to be consistent in practice. We have to be consistent on a daily basis in the games for the entire game. I mean, we'll have spurts like you saw in the second half where we can be pretty impressive.
Right.
But then we have spurts like the beginning of the second half where we get down 22. And it's just you can't do it at this level. Teams are too good. And that's why it's a good test for us to be out here with our young team to see where we're at, what we have to do before we really hit conference play next Wednesday.
And in conference play, the big competition for Thomas More last year was St. Vincent. St. Vincent looks to be similarly strong this year. Have you seen them play in person or on tape this year?
Just a little bit on film, but not much. We have them in a couple weeks. We go to Teal first, and then Waynesburg, who's also undefeated in the league, the Wednesday after that. So we've got a tough stretch coming up here, starting with these two games.
And you guys also have the biggest travel burden in the conference, being in suburban Cincinnati. You're, hours away from your closest President's Athletic Conference competitor as well. Yeah,
but I hope it helps us in the long run because, we have to make that trip a lot. Teams coming to us, they only have to make it once. So maybe they're not used to it, but by now they are, and they know where to stay and stuff. So, but, it hopefully helps us when we get to the road games.
So you're here at the D3Hoops.com Classic in Las Vegas, and your team has an off day in between games. What are you guys doing away from the gymnasium?
Well, today we go practice. They were here watching the first half of this game. Again, we go practice here. Leave at 1, practice at 1:30, and then we'll come back, have a dinner, and we'll watch film. It's a lot of. We got to do a lot of our stuff today.
Okay. Have you done anything on the town?
Yes, we went last night. That's what we did last night after the game. Went to the Lion King.
Oh, all right.
The show for that. So
very nice.
Let them walk the strip a little bit.
Okay. Jeff Hans and Thomas More here at the D3Hoops.com Classic. His team taking advantage of the sights and sounds of Las Vegas and coming back to play their second game on Friday against Simpson. Jeff, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Pat. Appreciate it.
And we'll have more coverage from the D3Hoops.com Classic throughout the rest of the week.